This is who Randy Fine is, ladies and gentlemen. This is a person who is running in office. FYI, people have been cops have been going to people's door simply for saying something that goes against the state of Israel. This is how much control they have now taken over America. But I can sit here and criticize Donald Trump. I can sit here criticize Christianity. I can sit here criticize Islam. I can sit here criticize any group or religions in the world. But as soon as I get near to that special group, I get the cops knocking on my door asking me, "Hey, why did you say this about them?" In case you haven't noticed here, your country has been taken over. And guess what? The people who you supported, the people who you looked up to, the people who you thought had your back, they're the one who sold your country out to a foreign government. You got nobody to blame but yourself because they told you. And now you got people telling you and you still choose not to do anything about it. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. On today's episode, I wanted to dive a little bit into the crash out of the, Republicans. So, in case you haven't been keeping up with the news lately, they are crashing out, and they are crashing out big time. All right. Now, there's this man. His name is Randy Fine. I'm sure many of you guys probably know exactly who he is if you dabble into politics a little bit. If you don't, this is him right here. This guy right here. Now, I have a lot to say about him, but I'm gonna go ahead and hold my tongue because we gotta keep it clean. We're gonna try to keep it clean. Now, I just want to go ahead and set up the mood for y'all a little bit to give you an idea of who this man is before I go ahead and react to his video of what he's gonna say about Tucker Carlson. Now, as you can see, kill them all, no mercy, bombs away. In case you don't know, he's talking about Gaza here. There is no suffering adequate for these animals. May these streets of Gaza overflow with blood. So this is pretty much your typical politician here in America that is bought out by AIPAC. All right, supporting killing innocent people and babies and smearing voices that fight against genocide for some AIPAC money says a lot about your character. You should be ashamed of yourself. How do you sleep at night? And then he replied by saying, quite well, actually. Thanks for the pick. So you get the idea, right? You get the whole idea. And then of course you got this Indian in India, right? So to be honest, did Gaza deserve this? And his response, yeah, yes, my fault. My picture's in the way. Let me go ahead. But yeah, he responded by saying yes. So now that you got that little image in your head, right? This is who this man is. This is what he represents. Anybody who has looked a little bit into the whole situation in Palestine, right? Or if you look into it a lot, I guarantee you have come across this man right here. With that being said, let's go ahead and listen to this 2-minute video and I will give my thought.
And I could stand up here all day and take shots at the left. I like it. It's how I got that nickname they told you, the Hebrew Hammer. But I'm here for the kids down here because it's easy to talk about anti-Semitism on the left.
So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, he is pretty much talking about how anti-Semitic the American population have become. Based off of the X that I just showed you, now you start to understand why people are becoming more and more anti-Semitic. Now you're starting to understand why people are not liking the people in the Middle East.
Talk about the dark force rising on our side. Multiple speakers have talked about the rise of anti-Semitism on the right. But it is not enough to speak in platitudes or generalities about the fight. We must call evil by its name. 5 years ago.
Keep in mind, he's not one of them boys from the Middle East, by the way, but he's wearing a kippah. Right. He was born here in the United States of America.
If I was talking to my father, who's watching, hi Dad, if I was talking to my father at 8:59 p.m. at night, he would say, Randy, I gotta go. Tucker Carlson's gonna be on. But make no mistake, today, Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous anti-Semite in America. He has chosen.
All right, so keep in mind, Tucker Carlson has never called for the elimination of the people in the Middle East. Tucker Carlson has never called out violence toward them. He only has issue with the fact that they have such huge control over the Congress in America, such huge power over, especially the president. You know what I'm saying? And based off of their actions in the Middle East, Tucker Carlson is putting these things into question. Like, why are we still supporting these people in the Middle East when our people here are, suffering? And yet we are sending billions of dollars to these people in the Middle East. Based off of that, this fat ass dude right here is pretty much saying that Tucker Carlson is one of the biggest anti-Semites in America because he is pretty much bringing this into light. He is asking the right question. He's asking, like, what's going on? Why are we doing this?
He has chosen to take on the mantle of leader of a modern day Hitler Youth, to broadcast and feature those who celebrate the Nazis, those who call for the extermination of Israel.
FYI, he's talking about Nick Fuentes. So Nick Fuentes went onto Tucker Carlson's. They are crashing out over that. They really, really crashing out over that. And truth of the matter is, I listened to the podcast, and it was just two dudes exchanging information. It wasn't that big of a deal. But to these guys, that is a big threat. Why? Because if you know who Nick Fuentes is and you know who Tucker Carlson is, well, things starts to make a lot more sense now, which is why he has categorized Tucker Carlson as one of the biggest anti-Semites in America. And to be quite honest, I completely disagree with him. But obviously, these people right here, in order for them to continue supporting Israel, in order for them to continue sending billions of dollars to Israel, they have to now demonize anybody and everybody who questions Israel whatsoever. If you say, hey, I can't buy food, why am I sending money to Israel? Automatically makes you an anti-Semite. Just keep that in mind. So either way, you can never win, ever. The only way for you to win is you have to suppress your morals. You have to suppress your emotion. And based off of everything that you see in Gaza, you have to turn a blind eye to all of that and turn around and say, I fully support the state of Israel. That's the only way you will not be called anti-Semite. And if you decide to step out of line for 1 second, boom, you are automatically classified as an anti-Semite.
To defend Hamas, to even criticize President Trump for stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions. Friends, make no mistake, Tucker is not MAGA.
Right, and he is. He is, right? He's over there with the keppa on his head, constantly calling out for genocide, right? But he's, another picture right here, United States flag with the Israeli flag behind him. Now imagine if anybody, right? Imagine if anybody was to be flying the Russian flag behind him or Chinese. Automatically, we would say this person is a traitor. Why? Because they have a foreign flag behind them. But this fat ass dude right here has the audacity to sit there and say, you are not America first. You are an anti-Semite. You are this. You are that. You are this. Meanwhile, he's calling out for genocide. He's calling to drop a nuclear bomb on the Palestinian, right? He's saying that we need to starve the Palestinians even more. Right? He's pretty much saying that we need to send them billions of dollars to Israel. We need to send them, billions of dollars worth of weapon to Israel to go and unalive innocent people. And if to reiterate what I said, if you step out of line just for 1 second, you will be considered as anti-Semite based off of his track record. And just go to X and put Randy Fine, and you will see what I'm talking about. People have recorded everything that he has said based off of his track record, based off of how much of a staunch supporter of Israel he is. If he decides to just have an ounce of mercy for the people of Palestine, they will ostracize this guy faster than he can say, holy shit. Now, I think there was another video that I wanted to show you guys, but I'll go ahead and find that. There it is. So he got cooked in this little video right here, and just look at his face. Just look at him.
You said yesterday that Cenk Uygur, one of our panelists today, is an invader. What did you mean by that?
I think it's a great example. I actually talked in that post about Mandami. I talked about Ilhan Omar. I talked about the gentleman you recognize. These are all wealthy foreigners who moved to the United States and then constantly talk about how bad it is. He made a post saying I should be deported to Israel, that I have dual loyalty. My family's from America.
He does.
I was born here. My parents were born here. Most of my grandparents were born here. My relatives that came here over 100 years ago came because they were desperate to be part of the greatest country in the history of the world. They did not come and then go on constantly about how bad it is and about how terrible it is and about how things need to change. If folks want to come to America, they should love it, they should share its values, and they should want to add value immediately.
And he's not doing that. He's not adding no value whatsoever. Rather, he's taking away the values of America. The American people are working hard to better this country, to make this country what they envision it to be. But people like him want to go ahead and take the money that the American people have worked hard for and send that across sea to go and sustain the lives of a foreign government.
And far too many people who are coming do not share those values, and I believe it is a threat. The barbarians are no longer at the gate. They are now inside.
Wow. So you're calling Cenk Uygur a barbarian? Well, given he's here, let me bring him into this. Cenk, what is your response to that?
Yeah, no, I don't mind, because I agree that there are barbarians inside the gate, and that's Randy Fine. Randy Fine is a sick terrorist sympathizer. In fact, if he wants America to do terrorism on Israel's behalf, he has said we should nuke Gaza. That's killing millions of innocent children and human beings and civilians. But he doesn't care. He only cares about Israeli lives. By the way, the Israelis have murdered now nearly a dozen Americans in the West Bank. No accountability from our government. And people like Randy Fine say we owe Israel. We owe Israel a genocide. We owe Israel $300 billion. We owe them no accountability at all when they kill American citizens. They had a pervert Israeli government official that came here in Vegas and tried to rape our children, and we let him go? That's insane. Randy Fine, are you asking for the sick Israeli government to return the pedophile so he could face justice here? No, Randy Fine represents Israel, not America. Everybody knows that. He also said we should starve all the Gazans. So he's right. There's a sickness inside our government. AIPAC and the Israeli lobby have given to 90% of Congress. They've given him $500,000, and that was a giant waste because he works for Israel already. So, Randy, we're all sick of your terrorist sympathies towards Israel. They have committed 75 October 7th. Their civilian kill ratio is 83%, worse than Hamas, worse than any terrorist organization. They have murdered 256 journalists, more than all other conflicts combined. They murdered 104 people today, including 46 children. They burned them alive. And we're sick of Israeli terrorism, and we're sick of people like you forcing good Americans. I love this country. I didn't come here to be a occupied territory of Israel. I came here because I love America and the freedom and the equality and the justice that comes with it. If you think your grandparents who came here were not loyal to America, that's your business. But no, most of the people that come here come because we absolutely love this country and not Israel. Why don't you go to the Knesset, brother? Everybody knows.
I don't think he'll qualify, man. This dude is too fat. He probably weighs like almost 300 pounds. Not even almost. He's probably like almost 400, I would say.
You love Israel and you despise Palestinians and you love Israeli terrorism. So why don't you move to Tel Aviv already?
So yeah, I just want to go ahead and show you guys that as well. He got cooked in that little interview right there, right? And yeah, so you have to understand that the opportunity in America is what made America so great. The people come to America so that way, not only do they want to contribute in in building America because they have such great opportunity, but they also want to help out the family across sea, right? People like Randy Fine, on the other hand, not only does he want to take money away from Americans, not only does he want to, decrease the opportunity here in America, he is not prioritizing a foreign country over the state of America, even though he claims that his family goes back generation, which I don't think he's a liar. I know for a fact that he was born here and his family has been here for a while. But somebody who has been here for such a long time, you should put America first. But rather, that's not the case. They are literally just dragging Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes in the mud, and you guys don't know exactly why. FYI, this guy is a really great journalist. I recommend you guys to go ahead and follow him. His name is his name is right there. Let's hear
What's
why.
happening on the
Let's hear exactly what's going on.
If you guys don't know what's happening on the right, it's pretty insane. The pro-Israel neocons are crashing out because they're losing support among traditional conservatives.
We're surrounded by cowards who have microphones, who have TV cameras, who have websites, who have columns. Cowards. It's spelled C-A-R-L-S-O-N. It's spelled F-U-E-N-T-E-S. It's spelled O-W-E-N-S. It's spelled B-A-N-N-O-N. It's spelled Marjorie Trader Green. You can figure that out yourself.
The reason they're crashing out is because people just don't want to listen to them anymore. You don't need to take my word for it. Just look at the decreasing subscribers and views for YouTube accounts like Ben Shapiro. Compare that to the growth of YouTube accounts like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. Because the pro-Israel crowd is so worried about this going mainstream on the right, the response is to isolate Tucker from the right.
Friends, make no mistake. Tucker is not MAGA.
Ultimately, the subtext of all of this frantic pro-Israel wagon circling is that the polling isn't good for Israel. They are losing America and they know it.
You think your stupid little podcast, or your stupid little subscription program, or your little TV show, or maybe you have a little radio show, is going to change the world like hell it is. Not if I and everybody else have something to say about it.
Yeah, they feel the moment they decided to support what happened in a foreign country in the Middle East. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you got the whole idea now. They are crashing out. They are definitely crashing out. I just want to go ahead and say right here, okay? I don't pick side. I'm not Republican nor am I liberal. Because in my eyes, they're both the same. You know, they're the same. They work together. In front of us is nothing more than just a giant show to pretend, oh, we're on the right and we're on the left, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. All right. They're both working together. Rather, what I am is I want to better people's life. I want people to look at things for what it is. I want people to work hard and actually benefit from the hard work. Rather, people like, Randy Fine, this big ass dude over here, what he wants to do is you go to work and he wants to take that money and send it across sea. He's already set up. He already got thousands of dollars being poured into his bank account. So that way he can stand on the podium and just spew nothing but garbage to you. Things like, oh, Tucker Carlson is not America for, America first. Why? Because he doesn't want to support Israel. I mean, seriously, just look at what's going on in the state of Israel. I mean, look at this, right? Look what this is what he's in support of. This is completely, it is destroyed. It's unlivable. You can't live here anymore. That's what he wants to support. He wants you to send your money so that way they can literally flatten this whole entire area so they can turn it into a parking lot. And then when you say, no, I don't want to do that. Rather, I want to focus here in America. I want people to take, the politician to take care of our state. He says, no, you're an anti-Semite because you don't want to send more money to Israel. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize that. Yes, this right here. He said, no, you're an anti-Semite. This is the image that I was just talking about, how it's literally unlivable. This is who Randy Fine is, ladies and gentlemen. This is a person who is running in office. FYI, cops have been going to people's door simply for saying something that goes against the state of Israel. This is how much control they have now taken over America. But I can sit here and criticize Donald Trump. I can sit here and criticize Christianity. I can sit here and criticize Islam. I can sit here and criticize any group or religions in the world. But as soon as I get near to that special group, I get the cops knocking on my door asking me, hey, why did you say this about them? In case you haven't noticed here, your country has been taken over. And guess what? The people who you supported, the people who you looked up to, the people who you thought had your back, they're the one who sold your country out to a foreign government. You got nobody to blame but yourself because they told you. And now you got people telling you and you still choose not to do anything about it. I'll catch you guys up in the next video.